Good morning and welcome to Town Square Sunday. The program highlights the work being done by nonprofit and charitable organizations in our region to make the South Coast a better place to live and work. My name is Jim Phillips, and today we're talking about a new partnership involving Southcoast Health and the United Way of Greater New Bedford. These two entities have created what they've named the Healthy Community Fund, offering up to $25,000 in funding for projects addressing certain needs in our area. Joining me this morning are Allie LeBert from Southcoast Health and also Michelle Hantman, who's president of the United Way for Greater New Bedford. Allie is the manager for community health and wellness for Southcoast Health. Good morning to you both, and thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, so what sparked this specific collaboration, and what is the overarching vision behind the Community Health Fund? Maybe, Allie, you could start with that.
Sure. So South Coast and United Way both have a long-standing history of providing grants to community-based organizations. South Coast specifically, as a nonprofit hospital, is required to provide community benefits back to the community. So through that, grant programming was developed. We've tried to change it up over the last couple of years, and this year we're really excited to think outside the box and partner with another force in the community. So we're really excited to bring this together and be able to partner to provide more funds into this local area.
And goodness knows, there's a lot of need here. With the United Way, you kind of see that need up close and personal with some of the programs that you have, Michelle Hantman. What's the overriding vision here? What do you see as coming out of this?
Sure. So I just want to back up a second because you mentioned, we see things based on our work, and we talk a lot about the social determinants of health, and there are a lot of reasons why people might show up to a healthcare provider unhealthy, and it doesn't always start with just, the way they're taking care of themselves. It could be environmental, it could be socioeconomic. And these are things that we both know and are part of kind of our values and initiative of putting something like this together. We both do have the history of grant making. I think, primarily Southcoast Health is here to make our region a healthier place, and we have been here as a fundraiser and as a grant provider. So we see us kind of leveraging our expertise and our knowledge together. We also see this as something that we are looking at as a pilot that will hopefully grow over time, and we're going to learn, I think, together this year. And then next year, we hope that other funders can come to the table and be part of this, because I think there are lots of great organizations doing great things, and there are a lot of grant makers and supporters out there that want to invest in them. But together, if we're aligned and more strategic, I think that's how we will see real outcomes that will make big change for individuals in the community.
Your organizations have identified maybe a half dozen key areas of need. And those were suggested in a report. Could you talk about where those areas of need are, what they are, and where they came from?
Sure. So every 3 years, Southcoast Health specifically is required to complete a community health needs assessment. Along with Southcoast Health, there are other organizations in our community that are also required to complete the same exact assessment. So for this past report, a group of us came together, all required to do this reporting, to form the South Coast Community Health Alliance, also known as SOCHA, so the acronym was in my brain, came together to put this report together. So these 9 areas that are listed are pulled from the report, specific to focus groups that we had with community partners and individuals receiving care in our community, a survey that was handed out to folks in the community, and through stakeholder interviews. So these were the areas that rose to the top as most critical for need. So those areas include access to care, so that would be health care, dental care, any type of medical care, housing needs, which is encompassing those who are unsheltered or homeless, food security and access, maternal health and well-being, behavioral health, which is encompassing of mental health and substance use disorder, are socioeconomic factors, such as education, workforce development, the built environment needs, so that could be transportation, housing needs with structural things, and chronic disease, of course, along with overarching health, so healthy lifestyles and things like that.
So, Michelle, that list that she just read, that Allie just read, now United Way has worked in some of those areas.
Yes, it has.
Direct contact with people. Mm-hmm. This is broadening your area to some respects.
A bit, not as much as you'd think, because we actually do use this report. Every time it comes out, it is looked at to help us figure out what our priorities should be within the things that we support. So I know we're not the only funder that does that either. It is something that really is helpful to really understand the current needs of the community and of the region. So yes, maybe it's broadening it a bit, but truly not as much as you'd think. We've already been supporting a lot of initiatives within those areas.
So you've talked about a collaborative funding approach here. How will that be? Well, of course, there's more dollars. There'll be more dollars to direct to some of these problems. But you feel that will be more effective than perhaps doing what you've done and doing what Southcoast has done? How will this be more effective?
We believe it will be more effective. I mean, while we may already use, say, a report like that and have done that in the past, I think it's a different way of doing this work together, about alignment, about being more strategic, and about truly being collaborative. There are some overlaps already in things that we've supported over the years. But, we might be giving an organization X, they might be giving it Y. If we're coming together and looking for the same types of reporting and outcomes, it's also something that we think will make things more efficient on the end of the organization receiving the funding. A lot of these organizations, not all of them are large, some of them are small and mid-size. So I think it's also a way to make things less cumbersome and more efficient. And I think we are going to learn a lot this year, and we really are looking at this as a learning year. So while we're committed to what we're doing this year, we really are hoping that this is the beginning of something that will grow in time.
Now, you are earmarking nonprofits to apply, and anyone else? Who else?
So, public entities with a, mission focus that aligns to this certainly could be eligible. You also could be an organization that maybe hasn't, fully formed and is working under a fiscal sponsorship, which sometimes that happens with young, emerging nonprofits. So we will accept or letters of intent, I should say, right? So that's kind of the first step, is that folks that are interested and believe that they align with the criteria that we've published, they will submit a letter of intent. And we have no idea if we're going to get 10 letters of intent or 1,000 letters of intent. So that also will help us kind of whittle it down to see what the most viable ones are that we could potentially support, and then a further process will ensue.
Is the letter of intent the first step?
The first step, or I guess attending the
the listening
sessions.
So I wrote that somewhere.
August 19th and 20th.
August 19th and 20th of next week at 5 p.m. both days. We're hosting a conjoined listening session where individuals, organizations can jump on at 5 o'clock, again, via Zoom to listen in. We have a whole presentation. Anyone asking questions, again, about eligibility, content, ideas, welcome to join. And then from there, from August 17th to the 28th of September, a letter of intent can be submitted.
Now, groups seeking funding have until when to submit ideas? Is there a deadline?
September 28th will be the deadline for that letter of intent.
Okay.
The team, as Michelle alluded to, will take those back, review, and then from there we'll reach out to the organizations that will be submitting a formal application.
All right. You're listening to Town Square Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips. My guests are Michelle Hantman from the United Way of Greater New Bedford and Allie LeBert from Southcoast Health. We're talking about the formation of the Healthy Community Fund, where grants can be up to $25,000 can be made available to address needs in the community. There's a process. You'd be wise to view these sessions on the 19th and the 20th to get some questions answered. Then that follows with a letter of intent, and the deadline is September 28th to submit ideas or that letter of intent is what you're going to do. Will smaller organizations have the chance to secure funding from the Healthy Community Fund? And I ask that because, you're advertising the $25,000 top grant, but smaller organizations may not need that much with their idea. So are you encouraging all kinds of groups, smaller groups, to apply?
Sure. I think we will accept an application from any organization that meets the criteria.
Sure.
We both have a history in supporting organizations of all different sizes, and sometimes the small and mighty organizations have, big missions and major impact. And so we don't see that a smaller organization will be less competitive than a larger organization. Okay. I think we're also interested in collaborative projects. That's something that we've said, we'll definitely be looking for collaborations as well. But we don't know what we don't know just yet, right? Some of it's going to depend on what we receive back, but everybody will have a fair chance.
So, as an example, United Way offers a program to address hunger insecurity, and they do it one day in Wareham and one day in New Bedford.
And Southcoast Health is one of our sponsors of that.
And that's wonderful. Suppose someone wanted to expand that or do more or extend it to 5 days a week. Would that kind of idea
maybe
work?
I'm not the decision maker. So, we will form a committee of volunteers, representative of the community, and also have a representative from each of our organizations to kind of facilitate the process. That's how we each do our grant making. It's not something that's done solely through, the paid staff of each separate organization. It's something that we both have used volunteer power to really be part of that decision making. This will be no different than that. I think that, we want to have the ability to support new ideas, new projects and innovations, but we also understand that there's lots of good work already happening that could certainly grow or continue to be supported.
Is there a particular area right now where you feel the South Coast is facing its most urgent need? You got 9 areas there.
I know. I think all 9 are pretty pressing. Yeah. It's challenging just to single out one area of need since multiple people also are struggling in multiple areas within each of those. So I think that we should value all of the 9 areas equally in order to, make the best decisions about which organizations receive funding.
When do you think this group of volunteers will be formed? And when do you think final decisions will be made?
We have a whole timeline in place.
Great.
So we will have the applicants who are invited to move forward after that letter is approved and they move forward into a full application process. That's going to happen around October 19th. The application deadline will be November 16th, so they have just about a month to complete their full application. And sometimes not all organizations end up following through, right? Something might happen or they might change their idea, or we might see within those letters opportunity for synergy and collaboration. So, we're going to be mindful of that. We will likely be doing some interviews with some of the applicants if they are not organizations that we're familiar with or programs that we're not familiar with. So that would be one step that might be required for some applicants, but not necessarily for all applicants. And then we hope to announce with some fanfare in late January the recipients of this grant opportunity.
All right. So we have no idea who will be funded at this point, how many proposals will be funded, but the Community Health Fund, the Healthy Community Fund, I should say, is gearing up for this process. And as we've mentioned, they will offer grants of up to $25,000 to address specific needs in the community. Do you have a fund amount that you are dealing with right now?
Yes. So this initial pilot will be a bucket of $200,000.
Okay. All right. So here's a question that you probably can't answer. Do you have a sense of what success will look like over the next few years?
Well, I think that report will be able to tell us that in 2020.
In the next 3 years, right?
In the next 3 years, right? I mean, that's the beauty of using a tool like that to really monitor progress and kind of measure success, right? Mm-hmm. So I think using that as a tool to really prioritize what we're going to invest in will also be helpful to really measure the success.
All right. So again, we have the first step is August 19th and 20th.
Attend a session.
Checking in on those information sessions.
And it's not mandatory. I mean, we welcome people to participate that are intrigued or interested, because I think that's where they will all hear the same information, right, in one facilitated way. However, we are getting questions weekly at the office. We're always, here and available to answer the questions. So you don't have to, it's not mandatory, but we do encourage people to be part of that session.
And then a letter of intent, if you will, by September 28th. Mm-hmm. Where do people send the letters?
So all of that will be, in the process that is outlined. Anybody that either attends our session or is looking at this opportunity on each of our websites, we have kind of mirrored pages that spell out the process, the deadline, provide the links and everything that they need to move forward.
Okay, good. So, and where can people find information? Your website,
yep.
For sure, right?
Yep, or Southcoast. We both are doing this together.
All right, very good. So check the websites. It'll give you the nuts and bolts, how to get started, and then you go from there. And hopefully you've created a proposal that will not only get funding, but also to address a serious community issue in this in the area, I guess. And this is not just New Bedford; it's
beyond
the Southcoast,
right?
Yes,
so it's
the Southcoast.
It's both of our service areas together, with the exception of Rhode Island, which is some parts of Rhode Island are in Southcoast area.
Any final thoughts, Allie, as to where we go with this?
We look forward to having folks apply, be interested, collaborate. We really hope that, as Michelle was saying, this is a pilot, that we learn a lot and can expand in the coming years. It should truly make a difference on the South Coast.
It's called the Healthy Community Fund, and it is now in the process of gearing up to hear ideas on what areas should be addressed and how you might be able to address them. Either small nonprofits, companies, anybody really can apply, individuals, but it's going to be, I think, a challenge to maybe pick some, who moves on in this
Maybe
process.
you can be on the committee, Jim.
Maybe. I don't know, but I think it'll be a challenge because there are an awful lot of talented folks who are working in nonprofits who, again, these are the people that see things every day.
That's right.
Seeing whether it's injustices or areas that need improvement. So this is important. I hope people take it seriously. Again, it's the Healthy Community Fund created by Southcoast Health and the United Way of Greater New Bedford. They are looking for proposals. Check out their websites for more information on how you can do that. Thank you very much for coming in, both of you, Allie LeBert and Michelle Hantman.
Thank you, Jim.
Coming
Thank
in
you.
today and talking with us about the Healthy Community Fund. Stay with us. Town Square Sunday will continue in just a moment.